Happy Sunday, you guys. If you are watching on YouTube, you might be asking, how did we get here? How did we get here to sitting on the floor? We're not even in a podcast room anymore. I'm not even in a fucking chair, bro. How did we get here? The answer is, well, first off, you guys know we moved, right? We moved back in, what was that already? February, March, we moved. And also, I've come to the point where I'm not sitting on that bar stool right now. Like, that is the most uncomfortable shit. I'd rather sit on the floor and, like, finagle my way around. Okay, so we're on the floor in my guest bedroom. My father-in-law was actually in last week, so, like, the bed's clean, I promise. We did the sheets. Have I put them back on the bed? No. I don't know about you guys, but whenever we have company, we're hosting, there is something kind of fun about the preparation. Yay, someone's coming. Whoever's coming, I probably like them. This is exciting. What a fun time. And then they leave. And in some cases, you know, it's sad, right? In some cases, it might be like, woo, I'm glad they're gone. I just want my own space back, right? And then in other cases, it's like, holy fuck, don't come back again, right? Well, in this case, it was like a sad to say goodbye, right? Father-in-law went back to Florida. And then you are hit with the downfall of redoing the home to your standard, right? So luckily, my father-in-law, he's actually a really cleanly person. So it was nice. He helped me actually stay on top of like house stuff. But now you got to like put everything back together. Do you know what I'm saying? And you're just like, fuck. And then you have like double the amount of towels to wash. And then here I am bitching about this. I'm about to have 3 grown fucking kids one day. Can you imagine the laundry? Because I can't, all right? And if you're someone who has already gone through that and you're in the stage of daily clothes wearing and stuff like that, let a bitch know, are you okay? Are we okay? How much Tide are we going through? I'm talking, how much laundry are we doing? Someone just let me know. Please tell me just wait, you know, like the just wait. I'm giving you the okay to tell me, like, just wait until blank. Feel free to lay it on me. Okay, I'm giving you guys the okay to do this. So I'm giving consent to the just wait and just wait until, you know, usually I would tell you shut up. Just wait until I punch you, throat punch you. But I'm not in this case. So happy Sunday again. I'm Des, if you're new here. This is my podcast. And I didn't upload last week. That's now like the second, it might even be the third time that I've just like not put an episode out. Yeah, you know, you guys could only imagine I'm kind of going through it, all right? Like, as much as things are pretty good, right? Like, I had another kid. No matter what, that's a motherfucker, right? But I things are good. Like, things are good. The third transition, easy so far. The third transition plus working and doing what I do, that's the hard part. Do you know what I'm saying? So we're adjusting, like, no doubt we are adjusting. But I'm surviving. Okay, we are surviving right now. I'm sitting here and so not uploading last week, sorry. I'm sure some of you guys missed me, but I'm sure a lot of you guys didn't even notice. And that's fine, you know. At the end of the day, I love coming on here. I love podcasting because I love talking. Very demure, very demure. Okay, very mindful. That's the new trend right now. I like the word demure. Isn't that fun to say? Anyways, I like talking. I like gossiping. I like sharing celebrity stuff. I love movies. I just love talking. I love having a conversation because when you are a adult with children, nonetheless an adult that's working and you don't really have time to like make new friends, who the fuck else are you supposed to talk to? Okay? I'm about to get a piece of fucking 4x4 cedar, name and plank, and have a best friend here at home. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm at right now. So here's my podcast, and this is just the funds for the girls. So the point is that whether you're on a run, maybe you're on a walk, maybe you're in the car, maybe you're just need something to take your mind off of things while you're studying, you need background noise. I don't give a shit where you watch me, where you listen. I'm here for the fun. We're here for the fun. We're here for the talks. We're here for what's going to come out of Dez's mouth this week. I don't know. We'll have to see, you know? So hope y'all are doing well. I'm lounging right now. I'm wearing my Petula Resort hoodie. I've actually only worn this a few times because I did get it on the last few weeks of pregnancy. And I'm obsessed with this color. I think it's so pretty. It's still very fall, like very candy apple, sour apple, but it's also still like summery, kind of fun. So I'm loving it. Petula. I'm actually wearing, I took the pants off, but I'm wearing the Color Edit front wrap bra, the twist bra. Feeling sexy. Okay. Girls are out for sure. That dropped this past week. And I also have the new HydroJug. This launched yesterday. I don't know how fast this one's going to go, to be honest. It's cute. It's not my favorite. I'll be honest. It feels a little outdated for me. Like, I feel like the ombre energy was very 2012. No, I'm lying. It's probably, let's be honest, it's probably more of like a 2018. Oh, I'll give it that. Very ombre. It kind of reminds me of an original HydroJug sleeve we saw back in like that time frame. Not my favorite. Like, I would have rather seen something else, to be very honest. But, if it's for you, it's for you. And so, like I said, I'll be curious to see how it actually sells. Because as of now, it hasn't launched yet by the time I'm recording this. But HydroJug, code DESB for 10% off. Petula, code DESB for 5% off. I swear to you guys, I think I've said this the 2 weeks ago in our last podcast. I literally have gotten so many messages this week on Instagram alone. Do you have a HydroJug code? Bro, I've been with HydroJug since literally 2017, I think. Insane to like ask if I have a code. But that only means you might be like new here, and that's cool too. But that's why I always say, like, when I tag Petula or I tag Paragon or something like that, right? I always put my code. It's not because I'm trying to sell you on it in that story. It's that some people genuinely don't even know I have a fucking code. And then most of my codes save money. So like, why would you also not want to save money? Hello. Okay. And why would I not want to make commission if you decided to like make an order? You know what I mean? That's how it fucking works. So that's what I'm wearing today. It's what I'm rocking today. Let's go ahead and take a quick drink real quick before we get into the episode. Wyatt actually hates when I say that because he's like, Des, you're already like in the episode, and I'm like, shit, you're so right. So I think I say that out of, at this point, habit. I'm sorry. We're already in the fucking episode. Okay. So either like get going or get lost is the vibe here. I'm actually drinking liquid IV today. Not my favorite. I actually really have drawn a like to the LMNT, like liquid electrolyte. I think, is it electrolyte? It's like a salt mix. I actually like those better than liquid IV, but I do get liquid IV from Costco. I really wish Alani would come out with a hydration drink because I would gobble that shit up so fast. Like, especially in powder form. I think powder form, like, packets are so easy and so accessible to like use. So I really wish that they would come out with that. Maybe they will. I would love to see that. Trust me, I've definitely told them. I'm like, listen, bitch, stop making fucking pre-workout. No one cares anymore. We want hydration. We're on a health and wellness girl trip. That's what we want. So we'll see. Would love it. But, I'm an Alani girl through and through. However, I do like liquid IVs. They just help replenish me a little bit more, I feel. And I do genuinely love putting them in my water, and it helps me get my water in. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. All right. That's the tea. All right. Speaking of tea, where do I want to start first? There's a little bit of tea about Matix, and there's, let's start with Matix. He's being rehomed. No, I'm just kidding. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? No, Matix got accepted into like a little preschool, daycare, day school thing. I don't know really what to call it. It's only 2 days a week, and it's only for a couple hours. But he got accepted into it. And by accepted, I mean like there was just a wait list for like kids and stuff. So anyways, when I got the acceptance, I like bawled my eyes out. And I literally told him, I was like, it's so stupid. I don't know. I'm crying. Like, but man, isn't it so crazy how one day we just start going to school, or I would even argue like maybe we start daycare, something happens and we just like never really see our parents again. Like, I know we have all summer, but like, I think back of being a kid, going to school, it was always fun, right? I was never scared of school. I loved going to school. And I can only imagine the heartbreak my mom had, though, of like sending me to school. Like, is she going to be okay? Does she know where the bathroom is? Are her teachers going to be nice to her? Like all these things my mom probably worried about, right? And then before you know it, I'm in school from, call it 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I basically come home and like go to bed. Like our time with our kids gets slashed so badly when we go to school. And, you know, I've dabbled in the thought of like homeschool and all these things that are, in my opinion, just like kind of trendy right now, kind of flashy. Rightfully so. Like we've seen people homeschooled for forever. A lot of people have different thoughts, different opinions. Some people are genuinely scared to send their kids to public school due to things that have happened in the world. I get it. I entertained it for a second, and I personally thought of like the disservice I think I would give my kids, because I fucking love school. Like I love learning. I loved school all the time. Now, granted, things are very different, but like I would rather my kid come to me and go, Mom, will you homeschool me, than to make that decision for them. Does that make sense? And that's just where I personally feel like comfortable. I also know the school system that they would go to. It's where I went, and that makes me happy. And like, you know, it makes me like have some pride. Like it's special, right? So knowing that I'm kind of sending Matix off to like this first step of his school journey, and that's when it starts. That's when your kids start aging, right? That's when you lose your kids, in a relative way. You know, again, we have summer, we have months off of school, we have weekends, etc. But, you know, Monday through Friday, they go to work, so to speak, right? Like you don't see them. And I think that there's such a beauty and a blessing in that. I think it balances out so many things in life. And I mean, honestly, I think of the day where all of my kids will be in school, or even call it 2 of them, right? Say Archie and Maddox are in school and I'm just home with Evie for, you know, a couple more years. I can't imagine the amount of fucking shit I can get done. Like it's crazy. It's crazy to think about the time that you can get back, right? But it's not that I wish the time away either. So, you know, grass is always greener on the other side. Grass is greener where you water it. However you want to look at it. It was just a really impactful moment for me, going, oh my gosh, this was my baby. This was my baby. This was my first son, my firstborn, the one that came 8 weeks early, the one that scared the piss out of me, the one that is now the sweetest fucking kid you'll ever meet. He's so fucking nice. Like he's literally so nice. So caring, so loving. Oh my gosh, he's such a sweetie. And just, this is him, and he's, oh my gosh, like I was holding him the other day. Sorry, I'm like on my mom's soapbox right now. Just bear with me, okay? Isn't it funny? A mom gets an hour away from her kids and she can't stop talking about her kids. Like, are we okay? So I was holding him the other day, and sometimes I'll fuck around with him and I'll be like, oh, Maddox the baby, like mommy's got to hold you like a baby. And I'll hold him like, you know, like a child, right? Oh my God, just the size of his head. First off, listen, we got some big-headed babies, first off, but like seeing him in that holding state, he's so big. He's such a big kid now, you know, and oh man, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart while bringing me so much happiness, you know, because we get to raise these kids, the next generation, and we're making a difference in the world by making a difference in them, you know, and it's crazy to think about. So anyways, that's what's new in the hood there. All right. Now let's get to like the other part of the tea. I don't know if it's just me. Let me disclaim this by saying I'm in a very weird spot right now with just like my body and everything about my body, right? Like there's a lot of things that feel weird about my body right now, right? It's my body. You can tell me, oh my God, Des, you look great. You can tell me that up and down. And I do believe you, because I'm very proud of my body and what it's done and how it looks right now. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't still feel foreign to me, you know? So I have had an issue with just like clothing lately, right? Naturally, just kind of like, ooh, this isn't comfortable. This isn't whatever. I have been really struggling with the past probably 4 or 5 Paragon launches. And I'm only sharing this because, listen, I'm a real bitch, first and foremost. And second, I know a lot of you guys purchase from Paragon, and a lot of you guys have supported me through Paragon, even with my collaboration, which I'm still so fucking proud of, and I wish I could fit in all my clothes. Regardless, back to the point. I've been really struggling the past couple of launches because like even the few launches I really loved, like the candy, what was it called? Candy, I don't think it was called Candy Shop. whatever. We had quite a few like pastels and like really pretty like pinks and vibrant colors and stuff like this. And even with as much as I loved those launches, it was like there was always something like kind of messed up about them, like the sheerness, the legging quality. Like, I don't know. I was just kind of frustrated, right? So then I had a few of you guys message me some feedback about like your orders, and you were just like, hey, like, is this normal? And you even had been customers for a couple of years and are like, dude, I used to only pay like $45 for these leggings as of like a year ago, and they're now like $65. I understand that pricing has to like increase, right? I really do. Margins, right? I totally get it. They also, Paragon really launches huge fucking collections, like huge amounts of designs, like the same bra in like 8 SKUs, right? Like something like that, right? Petula is kind of like only a few pieces. Buff Bunny, they have some big launches, but some are just kind of like 4 different leggings, 4 different bras. That's it, right? But not a lot of colors, something like that. Anyways, I just feel like Paragon's launches are like always really big. And the amount of like sheerness that you guys are like kind of pointing out and like frustrated with, I just haven't seen a ton go into upping the quality of the legging with how much the price has gone up, you know? And so that's just been like really bothering me lately, because I know I'm such an advocate and such a stan for Paragon, and I love the brand, and I love the people who are a part of the brand, who have created the brand. Like, I have such a great and long relationship with this company, but it's just been really disheartening to me lately to promote these clothing items that aren't like to a standard of mine, where I'm just like, okay, what's going on here? Like, there's just so much sheerness, or like the fits are weird, or whatever. And again, I want to go back and disclaim yet again, this could very much be a me problem, because my body has been so different in the past, 12 months now, the past year, really, almost since I got pregnant. Well, call it like 9 months. Since December is really when my body kind of like started being like, woo, like this is fitting different. Call it December. So like 9 months. And it might just be me. So I guess what I'm asking is, if you guys have purchased from the Paragon launches recently, I would love to hear your feedback and what you guys have thought about the past couple of launches, and affirm to me, oh, Archie was trying to run down here, and affirm to me how I'm feeling, or if they're fitting you well. If they are, I want to hear it. Like, if you're like, Des, no, I promise it's kind of just you, please tell me that, because I guess I'm upset because I like ride for these companies so much, and I promote them so much, and I would hate to be really, really riding hard for a company that like isn't matching a standard, you know, that, and I don't want you guys to spend money on stuff, I guess, also that isn't actually good right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's just been something about the pieces lately. Like, there's been like 1 or 2 things from each launch that I like really, really love. And then the other things, I'm like, I swear we've seen this same thing over and over and over and over. It's just a different fabric cut. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like to just be transparent as fuck here. And that's just how I'm feeling. And when it comes down to telling my girls what to get, what to hit, what to miss, I want to be fully transparent. Okay? On the other hand, let me go to Buff Bunny and Petula real quick. Petula has just been blowing my socks off. And I've said this almost every episode for like the past year and a half, I would say. They have just really elevated to a space I'm so fucking proud of. And I've said this before, and I will say it again. If you put me over a swarm of alligators and said, I'm going to throw you in if you don't tell me what clothing brand you want to stay with, you can only pick one, I would say Petula. Like, I am just completely, continuously impressed by their quality, their customer service, their branding, the fabrics, the fit, the designs, the innovation. Like, I fucking stan. Okay. Buff Bunny has been still producing bangers. They're pretty, what else I say about Buff Bunny is they're consistent. They're consistent. You know what I mean? They got a few eye-boggling pieces per launch, and then the rest is just consistent. Since I'm not exclusive with any company, but specifically Buff Bunny, I don't get huge packages, and that's okay. I don't want to be like wasteful either, but some of this stuff I wish I could review a little bit more. I probably could have more to say, but they still drop bangers. But we're heading into neutral season, okay? And I'm a bright girly, so it's hard for me to adapt. But I think I'm going to open up, open arms, hit me up, give it to me, and I'm going to rock it. I really want to lean into my neutral era. I think I need to do that more. Because honestly, when I wear neutrals, I get a ton of compliments. So I almost feel like I got my color analysis fucked up in my own mind that I've created. Maybe I'm not a brights girl. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's just kind of my long-winded feedback of what's been going on in my life lately. And a lot of it comes down to comparing clothes. But I love what I do, okay? So this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. I talk about BetterHelp a lot, seeing as that it's benefited me in the past 2 years. Some people think, maybe, things have to get really bad until you can go to therapy. You're like, I'm not depressed. Why do I need therapy? But really, therapy is a tool to where you're using it before things were to get worse and to avoid being at your lowest low. I don't know about you, but why the fuck would you want to get to your lowest low before you climb out to the top again, right? BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video and even live chat sessions with your therapist. You don't have to see anyone on your camera. You don't have to wear pants. You don't even have to put on pajamas. You could be naked wherever you're at and do a therapy session with your therapist. So for me personally, I like to put my AirPods in. I'll walk around my desk room. I'll go for a walk outside when it's nice out, whatever it may be. And that's what works for me. It is customizable and it is more affordable than most in-person therapy. Give it a try. See why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp Online Therapy. And girls, don't forget to get on BetterHelp.com/DESB and put in that discount code. If you forget that, you do not get that 10% off your first month. And that is the deal with being a listener of Brunch with DESB. I do have a few different stories that I wanted to chat about very quick. So let me open up my notes app because that's where I keep all of my brain dumps. It is breakup season, guys. I have seen nothing but left and right divorces, breakups, and mishaps. I don't know if it's an end of summer thing. Maybe we're all in this different mindset. We're feeling single summer. Well, we're going into fall, guys. You're going to want someone to cuddle with, and y'all are fucking up by breaking up, okay? First off, Dakota Johnson and Chris Martin are getting divorced. This is pretty sad. They have been in a very long, committed relationship. This is the lead singer of Coldplay, and then Dakota Johnson was the girl off of 50 Shades of Grey. That's like the first thing that comes to mind. She's been in quite a few other movies, don't get me wrong. Swept kind of under the radar, like not really a big moment, but they did have their moment on E! News. Molly May and Tom Fury, is that what his fucking name is? They broke up. Not that I really give a shit, but I think they were a really big couple in Love Island, so that was just like a huge buzz. And within the same fucking week, Ben Affleck and J-Lo are getting a divorce. Are we fucking shocked by that last one? I will tell you what, for a moment I was, but then after that I was like, no shit. There's a reason why you didn't work out however many years ago, right? It's like people who go back to their high school sweethearts. Oftentimes, it doesn't work. Like, you guys thought that you weren't a match then. Try growing up even a little bit more, growing more into yourself, and then thinking you guys are still a match. Hell no, you're completely different people at that point. You know what I mean? Like, so anyways, that was really wild. Lots of breakups. There's probably even more that have come out. And just so we know, I want to make it very clear, Taylor and Travis are still going very fucking strong. I just want everyone to know. And I'm actually let's see, September, October. I am literally 2 months away from fucking seeing her again in concert. And I could literally shit myself. I am so excited to go see her again. I'm also very excited to go with my concert buddy, Vanessa. She's like, at the end of the day, she's just like another one of you guys that I got to connect with in person, which is so cool. She did coaching like with DBFT before in the past. She's a mom. She's done challenges and shit like that. But we just connected, and now she's like my concert buddy. She's the one I went and saw Olivia Rodrigo and like wanted to bury myself after. She's the one I went and saw that with. By the way, she's equally as scarred from that concert. Next up, Blake and Justin. Oh my God, the drama with It Ends With Us is fucked up. It is literally ruining the movie. I hope it dies down soon. I am so fucking sick of it. I think it was a big whirlwind when it hit the box office, so I feel like I've seen it die down a little bit in the past couple of days, but holy piss, it was everywhere. People are ganging up on Blake, trying to cancel Blake. At first, they were canceling Justin, but then they bandwagon hop all the way to canceling Blake. It's like cancel culture is so fucking toxic. Witch hunts are so toxic. All of a sudden, we're bringing up old shit. It's toxic. Like, dude, if you brought up some of my old shit, the way I used to talk, the way I used to present myself, bro, if I was like even back when I was 21, 22, I never did anything that was like cancelable, but like, ew, cringe. Some of the ways I just would like speak or, you know, like slang term, like the way I would just, I don't know. It's different. Okay. So you pull up an interview of Blake from X amount of years ago too. Like, ew, you evolve so much. And especially with Blake, she's on her 4th kid. Every time I've had a kid, I've evolved into like someone else. You know what I mean? So like, even looking back at when I first had Archie, looking back at some of my content, I'm like, oh my God, who was that? Like, it just, you are someone different, you know? And so to like harp on her, like, I don't know, just, it was crazy. So a lot of the drama came from the idea of like the It Ends With Us movie, obviously being very focused on domestic violence. Lily Bloom gets into a relationship with Ryle, loves Atlas. Atlas comes back in. Lily's breaking the family tree of violence and she leaves, and power to her, TLDR, right? That's kind of what the movie is about. Beautiful message, important message to share. Justin, I guess, from what I'm reading, did a really good job at like advocating, you know, yeah, like this movie is for the women. This is for the women who have left, the women that are still fighting, like huge advocate, right? Which if I was in that position, I'd be riding hard for that too. Like, don't get me wrong. Blake, on the other hand, she's shared a few things here and there, but she like launched her new hair care. She's brought on her husband for like a lot of the tour, which Wolverine and Deadpool kind of came out. And so it was just like a huge event, and they kind of like almost put both premieres together, not on purpose, but it felt that way. And anyways, I can see the issue that people had with Blake, but at the end of the day, the way that I think of it is like, I think the passion was there as a woman, especially the passion was always also there, but like it's just a job for her. And I think sometimes social media people / celebrities, especially of that status, they can get very like caught up in not what is like real life for a lot of people. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's like it's her issue, like she's like a shitty person. I just think it's like, if you don't ever have to worry about it, it doesn't come to top of mind. Do you know what I mean? And that sounds terrible, but I think it just got, still at the end of the day, it was just blown up. And I don't know. I guess I was just really confused, like why it was made into such a big of a deal, because we've seen so many movies that have come out with very similar underlying tones, whether it's violence in the movie, domestic violence in the movie, sexual assault in a movie, like anything negative, right? Suicide, all these things. You don't see those actors like talking about it. Like, I don't know. It's very much giving me a remake of 13 Reasons Why. And when that came out and people were trying to say how it was like, quote unquote, glorifying suicide, it's giving the same thing to me. Like very, I don't know. I don't want to compare apples to oranges. It was just really frustrating to see when I thought that they did the movie a really good justice, but I'm also someone who read the book. So I don't know how I would have felt if I, for some reason, had not read the book and was just going to like see a new movie on the screen, right? Like, I don't know. I don't have that take, but it just really pissed me off that it became an issue, because at the end of the day, they were advocating in their own ways that they wanted to. I think they still did a great job. Colleen Hoover was literally the one who created the book, and she wrote it because her father abused her mom, and it was kind of written in like ode to that and like what she experienced in that way. So like for her to like see the way that they were talking and promoting the movie, you'd have to have some form of like approval of that. Like, hey, Colleen, are you cool with this? Or like, is this done well enough? Is this blah, blah, blah. Colleen still had to say it's her fucking book, you know? So I don't know. I would be curious what you guys have to say. Again, hopefully by now it's dying down. But damn, it was just a witch hunt there for a minute. And by the way, I'm still going to go out and try Blake's fucking hair care. I don't give a shit. This is not the time to be like, people should be done supporting her. One thing, nonetheless, a thing I don't even think is drawing a line in the sand, is not a picture of one person's whole inner psychological self, I guess I should say. Like, this does not make her a bad person. This doesn't make Justin Baldoni some fucking superhero. Like, they're just people. I don't know. I'd love to know what you guys think. Next up, we had Scott Peterson. Oh my God. So the story about Lacey Peterson came out on Netflix. And I think it was just called Lacey Peterson, American Killer or something. So Lacey Peterson was 8 months pregnant. They were living in California, Modesto, and she went missing on Christmas Eve, which I didn't even realize the timeline. I believe this was 2002 or 2004. Maybe 2004 was the trial. I don't have it right in front of me, but this happened. I remember the coverage. I was young enough to not know what was going on, but I vividly remember it being on like every TV. Like, it was very like Good Morning America, like fucking Today Show, News Center 16, like WSBT 22, like anywhere it was still covering this story. It was huge. It went viral, mostly because it was the holidays, I think, on top of her being obviously 8 months pregnant. So she went missing. They have no other leads to suspects. There was a like robbery in the area. But it wouldn't really necessarily align with like her being taken with it. The big premise of the Netflix show was, Scott went to jail for it, which was her husband. Did he actually do it? So we had this mistress, Amber Fry. You guys should look into the crime of it if you haven't already. It's a crazy interesting case, in my opinion. Lots of ways you could take it. So he is currently facing life without parole. I believe he was issued the death penalty, but it was recently reversed, where he still just has life without parole, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm trying to think of all the TikToks I've taken in and all the like reading on different blogs and stuff that people are talking about. People are wondering, at the end of the day, did he actually do it? Most people would argue, absolutely he fucking did. Unless you are his close family and friends who just are stringing on to like this one thread of hope, he did it, right? But it's crazy to me because for as long as he's been locked up, again, I think it's been 20 years. So it would be 2004 maybe, that by the time he went to jail maybe. To not like admit you've done something to me is just a psychopath. You know what I mean? Like, you can be psycho, you can kill someone and lie about it. But then like you go in jail, you tell someone in jail. You know what I mean? You say, hey, I fucking did it, So to like keep that internally so fucking shoved down and say, yeah, I did it, is crazy to me. Because if you told someone else, I guarantee you they would tell someone else, right? So to keep it genuinely just you is nuts. I believe he did it. I believe he did it. Like, there's just no fucking way he didn't. And even in the slight sliver that he didn't, right? Say he didn't. The way he fucking teed himself up to even just paint himself as if he did, he fucked up. Like, he's the one that had a mistress. He's the one that lied to her. Even on December 9th, he fucking said that like his wife was gone or some shit like that, right? He didn't even tell her that he was married. Like, it was so messy. If you guys have not watched it on Netflix, please do it. And that's your homework for the week. Go watch it. It's a 3-part series. And then you tell me if you think he did it. If you think it was correct. Because he did get, yes, he is in prison for it. But did he actually do it? His sister, I think, ended up, it was a sister or sister-in-law, ended up going back to jail, back to school, into law school, because she wants to help overturn him and get him exonerated. So that motivated her ass to go back to school. Isn't that crazy? I'd be like, I could never. Maybe I would if it was my own sibling. I don't know. But also, would you protect your own blood that much? Right? And speaking of your own blood and protecting them, Your Honor, holy fuck, that is also on Netflix. I finally finished season 2. And nonetheless, season 1. Last time I talked to you guys, I hadn't finished season 1. It took me probably the 6 episodes to like get into the series itself. Great storyline. Great acting. Fucked up. Okay, so if you haven't watched Your Honor, like, fast forward. If you are just finishing it or you have watched it before, stick around. I'll give you a sip. I just want to talk about it for a minute, okay? The first jaw drop for me was seeing that Fia had Adam's kid. That was number 1. That fucked me up. Then the next jaw drop for me was finding out that Robin's death was a hit That fucked me up. The third thing that fucked me up was Gina killing Jimmy. That fucked me up. And then there was one more jaw dropper I forgot. Regardless, I feel like there needs to be a season 3, but to my understanding, let's actually look it up right now. Your Honor, season 3. Oh, shit. Wait, hold on. Oh, this is from Forbes, July 13th, 2024. This is recent. Your Honor continues to have an incredibly impressive, completed, unexpected run on Netflix. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it has, it came on to Netflix just on May 31st. And it's been in the top 10 since then. Wow, that's crazy. This is what it says. I do not see how season 3 of Your Honor doesn't happen, but with nothing already in the works, it would likely be years away. Hopefully, this resurgence on Netflix will get it in the works because there needs to be an ending. Do you know what I mean? Especially with like Gina's family, what did they call themselves? The Capotes or some shit like that. Capides? I don't know. Whatever Gina's like maiden name was. They were coming in. They were doing that development. Carlos was finally like head of his family. Fia came back to the family. Fia gave up her baby. Michael Desiato, whatever, went back to prison. Like, there's a lot that they could continue to expand upon, I feel. And I think especially too with like the gang stuff and like Eugene and all these things. They definitely have the storyline. They just have to expand on it. So if you have not watched Your Honor, it's fucking good. Presumed Innocent. All right, that was your guys' homework from a few weeks ago. You've had 2 weeks now to fucking watch that shit. There's no excuse that you have not watched Presumed Innocent yet. So now you have to tell me what's going to happen. Okay, what actually happened? Do you think that the daughter actually did it? Because here's the thing. At the end of the series, right, when they're talking in the garage and the daughter comes in and she's like, I did it. Here's what blah, blah, blah. Why the fuck was the son riding the bike? We never really depicted that. We never really dove into that. So what the fuck did the son have to do with it? Wouldn't he have seen his sister? Like, I know he tried to say, well, I wanted to watch you. I wanted to see you, whatever. I'm not buying that shit. So anyways, you'll have to let me know what you guys think of Presumed Innocent. I just started a brand new series on Apple TV. It's called Dark Matter. DARKMATTER. Dark Matter, not Dark Mater, not Tomater. Okay. Dark Matter. I guess it's based off a book. People have spoken very highly about the book. Trigger warning on existential crisis of time. If you are someone who gets fucked up by like questioning like time and the world and perception and reality and all this stuff, or if you're trying to read it high or like tripping on shrooms or something, don't fucking watch it. I will tell you that fucking much. I'm only on episode 1 as of right now, and it's already kind of fucked me up. Like, just kind of being like, oh my God, what would I do if that happened? Could that actually happen? What if that happened? Oh my God, what if it happened? And I've already been in a spiral lately of just like, where does life lead us? I'll keep it at that. Okay, we've talked about this a couple of months ago. We talked about, that. If you want to go back and listen to that episode, you can do it. Chatted very intimately about those thoughts of what comes after. Okay, I'll say it like that. But if you are in that stage, don't watch it. I'm just telling you that much, okay? I can definitely tell for me it's going to be one of those shows where I can only watch 1 episode a day because it's pretty heavy. Not in terms of like it being drama filled and like crazy or scary or anything. It's just for me, when you start thinking about, again, like I mentioned, the time of like life and like different alternate realities and stuff, it can make you go a little cuckoo, and I can't take too much cuckoo right now because I'm already cuckoo right now. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay, last thing I want to talk about. Oh my God, I don't know how I feel about this. The fucking Mormon, Secret Life of Mormon Wives or some bullshit coming on Hulu that I'm definitely gonna watch. Definitely gonna watch. This is a very popular Mormon group of moms on TikTok that Hulu approached and like pitched them a show. I think it'll be pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I think it'll be good reality TV. I'll be very transparent in that way. But it's definitely going to piss me off. It's definitely going to piss me off because one of the girls on there, it actually sucks because I really liked this girl, and I try not to like think of her differently now, but there's this influencer, Whitney something, and when she had her baby, he was like in like the ICU at one point maybe or something. I don't remember. I just remember her dancing in a hospital room while her son had like crippling RSV. And like listen, this is the most terrifying video ever. And I'm sure some of you guys have seen it. And I try not to like judge her for it because, you know, she didn't know at the time. Like she was just kind of emotionally going through what she was going through and felt an outlet in like a TikTok dance. But let me tell you guys, it didn't age well and it didn't do well. And it is probably the most haunting video for her on the internet. And it was really a reminder that like what you post doesn't always just go away, you know, if you delete it. And so yeah, she's on it, and I've tried not to like let that skew my view of her, but you know, people do stuff. You just gotta let it go. But man, it's a harsh reality that video was made. And if you haven't looked it up, like I'm sure you could find it somewhere. Okay, I'll tell you that much. And it really isn't that bad in terms of like what it looks like, but it's bad considering the circumstances. You know what I mean? So that happened. And then like Taylor, Frankie Paul, I actually followed her for a long while, until she like got divorced, but she like cheated on her husband, but then she like got pregnant with like this other guy now. And I don't even know, dude. There was like some really fucked up shit that happened in that community on TikTok. I never ended up following it, but basically someone was like soft swinging, but like they didn't approve. And anyway, so it's all these Mormons who are like swinging with each other, which is also crazy because like aren't Mormons supposed to be religious? Like, isn't that against the rules? I don't know. I don't know much about Mormonism, to be honest, but I just know you like have to like dry hump and like soak and stuff. I don't know. I learned a lot from Sophia from Call Her Daddy back in the day. And Mormons are very interesting too. And some of them who leave the Mormon faith and then like open up about it on TikTok. I've watched some of those. Like, let me tell you about the time I was Mormon, you know, like whatever. So my education comes from TikTok University. I will gladly share that. But they have their own show coming on Hulu. And I just, you know, it's a burning train that I can't stop watching go down the rails. You know, like that's how it's going to feel for me. But maybe I'll end up liking it. And maybe I'll view some of these girls in a different light, to be honest. Maybe I'll end up following some of them. I don't know. Like, never put it past yourself. But it's kind of crazy for it to come on Hulu. The last thing that's coming on Hulu, you guys can tell, I've watched a lot of TV lately, all right? Read a book for August? No thanks. I'm watching 5 fucking series of TV for some reason. So, Stassi Schroeder is coming back on TV, and I'm very excited. She's coming out with her own series, I guess you want to call it, on Hulu. I think it's called Stassi Says. I fucking love Stassi. I think she can be a bitch. I think she can be very brutal. I wonder let's look it up. Is Stassi Schroeder an Aries? I forget when her birthday is. You would think with how much she was on Vanderpump Rules celebrating her birthday that I would know her birthday. Okay, she was born June 24th. Oh, interesting. Oh, so she's a Cancer. Interesting. That shocks me because she's very spicy. Kind of like, okay, so she's nurturing, sensitive, compassionate, self-protective, security-seeking, loving, displaying a goofy, integrated sense of humor. Yeah, like, I mean, some of those things are her, but also, like, my sister's a Cancer. You can't tell me her and Stassi are both Cancers. So anyways, she has that show coming on, and I'm very excited for it. So that's kind of what my main points were for this episode. I honestly just wanted to be able to come down here and chat, get away from the kids for a little bit. Postpartum's treating me well. We have our upcoming 6 weeks to strength challenge, which I'm really excited because I need a routine. I need to get back in the gym. It's not that I'm not in the gym right now. I'm doing my Strong Ass Mom program, but like I personally, even myself, like I need a community. You know what I mean? Like I need us all kind of like in it together and like ready, 1, 2, 3 team, you know? And that's why I love my challenges so much. And like, you know, doing them with you guys and especially this postpartum experience, like I'm ready to give myself by the time I'm released, I'll be, or I'm sorry, not released, but like by the time it starts, I will be, so let's see, I'm 7 weeks postpartum today. I'll be 8 weeks next week, 9 weeks. So I think I will be 10 weeks postpartum by the time we start the actual challenge. I think almost 10 weeks. I might be 9. And I'm excited to give myself like 6 really like dedicated weeks. You know what I mean? And see where I could be. The last time I did a challenge postpartum, it was 6 weeks to strength, was my first challenge back as well. And I think I was like, let's see, it started in August, and it started at the end of August, and Archie was born in May. So like May, June, July, August. So I was about 16, probably 14 to 16 weeks postpartum last time. So I'll be a little bit like earlier postpartum, but I'm excited to see like my body transform and see how the workouts help, as well as help like so many of you, because there's so much positivity in being in a community. So we opened pre-registration the other day. You can pre-register, and the exciting thing that we're doing this time to kind of celebrate, 5 years of these challenges, and honestly, probably our last 6 weeks to strength challenge, in respect to like the verbiage and what we're calling it and what we're doing, stuff like that. I really want to kind of renovate and update some things. But if you pre-register, you can get access on the 31st, and we're going to have an exclusive huge discount on the 31st. It's a Saturday, so you fuckers better be at home. You're on your phones. You shouldn't be, not being able to pull up the website. Nonetheless, if you do work, it's all right. Maybe, hopefully you have a like low shift, like quick shift on a Saturday. I try to do it on a weekend. And with that, we're doing uncoached, $99, usually $117, and coached, $289, usually $307. So that's for that 24 hours only, and you only get the access to the links if you pre-register. The links will also be given to members and past Shreds challengers. So if you did 6 weeks to Shreds just recently, you'll also get this discount, but you'll get it for 48 hours. So you can sign up on Friday or Saturday. If you do not make the cut, you do not make the cut. We are doing this discount for those people who are on top of their shit and pay attention to deadlines, Friday and Saturday for members and past challengers of 6 weeks to Shreds this past year, or 31st if you pre-register and you get on the email list. We're not here to fucking spam you and annoy you, okay? But this gives us a safe space to share those links with you so that you get that discount. So that's exciting. Breastfeeding's going well. Evie's sleeping pretty well, to be honest, dude. I mean, she's waking up maybe once in the night, like around like a 3 o'clock, and then she's waking up again. And this is like by the time she goes down. She usually goes down between like 9 and 10, and then she'll wake up again between like round 3, and then she'll wake up again, say like 6, maybe 7. So she's really like in the midst of night, only waking me up once. And then by the time she wakes me up again, I usually do go back to sleep afterwards, but it's not like a harsh reality wake up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like a 1 a.m. wake up. Like, I can get up at 5 or 6 and feel like decent, So, it's been good. I mean, it's been good. The only thing we've been kind of struggling with right now is Archie and Matix, because they're sharing a room. And I love that for them, but it's just been kind of a lot, because when one of them wakes up, the other one wakes up. They really love sleeping together. Like, they sleep in the same bed. Yes, there are 2 fucking beds, but they would rather sleep with each other, and they have plenty of room. It's all like good, but it's just when one of them wakes up, then the other one does. One of them comes downstairs, the other one follows. Sometimes like Archie might accidentally kick Matix, and then they're like crying in the middle of the night. So we're still like figuring that out. It's becoming just like part of our routine. And it is what it is. Some nights, I should say mornings, I wake up and I see the kids next to us, and they're like about to push us off the fucking bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're taking up all the bed. And I get frustrated because I'm like, fuck, they're like up so early, and like they're fucking in bed and they're dicking around. But then I think of kind of what we talked about at the beginning of this podcast. Before you know it, they're off. They're in school, and there's not even the time of day for them to come in your bed in the morning, besides on the weekends, and so every time I find myself getting frustrated, I honor that emotion. I am 100% allowed to feel that way. And some days maybe I let it get the best of me, and that's okay too. But whenever I can, I try to just actively push that thought out of my mind of being annoyed with it and spin it into like a different way of like a more grateful statement. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like that cliche, oh, I have to do that. It's like, no, I get to do that. So it's kind of the same mentality I have with the kids of like, oh, I hate that they have to get in bed with me because, you know, they like it. And then in reality, it's like, I love that I've given them a space where they feel comfortable enough to come in bed with me. And they feel so loved that they can do that. You know what I mean? And they feel safe and they know the stuff like that. And yeah, I feel like I'm kind of excelling at that lately, to be honest. Like, I'm just going to, pat myself on the back for that, because there's been a lot of times where I've really found myself channeling my frustration or my anger and using my words so much better than I think our parents at like our age just knew what to do. You know, they didn't know how to like communicate with us and like all this shit. We get access online now to so many like therapists and therapeutic approaches that like our parents never did, you know? And so I really try to take those and use them, you know, like today, Archie dropped Wyatt's phone right on my fucking foot. And you know how that shit feels. You know how that shit feels. My immediate reaction was to grab the phone and be like, Archie, like, why'd you do that? Like, just out of like, oh, fuck, you know? But I like grabbed his phone and I was like, we're gonna put this over here, okay? And then I just let it go. And it was like one of those things where without me having like practiced this approach lately, I would have kind of blown up accidentally, right? Like, what? I mean, think of things that you did as a kid, right? You maybe bumped the lamp over. Why did you run through the house and why is the lamp on the ground? You know, natural reaction, like shit, you know, as a parent, you're reacting not to your kid, but to the situation. And so I've been really trying to focus on reacting to my kid and not the situation. Exactly what I'm saying, but like in reverse, right? So yeah, I'm in my mom era. Listen, I feel like since I've had this third, like I'm officially a mom. And I've shared that before, how I've kind of like had imposter syndrome. Yeah, for some reason I felt like I couldn't lean into being a mom. And maybe it was also me not wanting to let go of that older part of me. You know, that part of me that was that, you know, young 20-year-old and flying everywhere for bodybuilding and expos and trips and being that person. And like, I'm not anymore, you know, like I'm not the cool, young, new thing. And at one point, like I was, like, to be honest, you know, and it's kind of weird to like not be at like a peak anymore, you know, like I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't want it to sound big headed at all. If anything, it was at the time. At the time I did have a little bit of cock to me, you know. But I worked really hard, you know, and I think it might have come off really just like super cocky and like, that's okay. Like whatever, time and place. I'm in Aries, but I've grown through that. And at one point I was kind of at the pinnacle of like the fitness industry. And now I'm just another mom, you know? And, but like, I'm my favorite mom, you know, and that's all that matters. I'm not saying I'm just another mom to like degrade myself, but that's my Instagram handle, is like just another mom, you know? So I was playing into that. Okay. I do love myself, positive self-talk, but it has been weird to kind of evolve into this next stage. And, you know, I just have a different community, and, I reach different people now, and my people, we're not on our phones all the time. You know, we're busy moms, and not even just busy moms, you know, we're just like busy girls, busy city girls, busy corporate girls, busy girls getting married, busy girls adulting, you know, and it's interesting. So yeah. Anyway, who are you going to vote for? No, I'm just kidding. Could you fucking imagine if I open that pile of worms on here? That is listen, you will never catch me talking about that shit. I, number one, don't give a flying fuck. And by saying I don't give a fuck, I mean, you do you, I do me, we do us. We live in the world. We live in the same world. We want the same things. We want a world that fucking spins, that we can live safely on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, those things don't waver. But that is just not the time and place, baby. I am not your news anchor. So if you're ever looking for shit like that out of me, politely fuck off, because that is not my fucking role. Never will be. And I never want it to be. Period. Point blank. Go check out at Real News No Bullshit. That's the only like news place I really follow anything. And even then, news gives me stress. So for me, out of sight, out of mind, baby. I don't even know it's election year. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great Sunday. It was good hanging out with you. I swear every time I come down here, I'm like, oh, fuck, I have to record because then I have to like edit it and it's a lot. But after I do it, I'm like, oh, I just love this. Even if it's only a couple of you guys listening, like, I just hope that these bring you some peace, you know? And if you ever have a moment and you can tell me, like, I love your podcast, please do, because it's just, you know, transparency moment. I've spoken about this last year. It just didn't like take off the way I thought it would. You know, like podcasting and talking is my passion. Like if you guys know Pat McAfee, I would do anything to be Pat McAfee. Like I would love to like host a day show. I always wanted to be Ellen. I always wanted to be like Tyra Banks, Oprah, Kelly Clarkson. Like fuck, I'll take her show now. Drew Barrymore. Like I love talking. I would love to be a talk show host, and podcasting is kind of the closest I like kind of get to that. And it just, my show never like took off the way I thought it would. And that's okay. But sometimes to hear that what I still say here like helps other people, and not even like helps like, oh my God, I slayed my dragons today because of your podcast. Like just to say like, hey, like it just helps me get my mind off things, or I just feel like I'm not alone, or I just love laughing with you. Like those small things, it means a lot to me. And I do thrive off of affirmation, to be very honest, and I'm not afraid to admit that. And so to hear, you know, hey, I do love your podcast. Like it's those small messages that some of you guys do send that like genuinely keep me going. So thank you guys. I hear my baby crying. She needs my titties, so I got to go. It was a great hour. Think of this as me ending our FaceTime. Love you guys. Ow. Oh shit, my butt hurts now. And my back hurts now. Bye. Love you.